Hi, I'm Terri with Prepped and Polished in South Natick, Massachusetts. I'm glad you could join me today. The SAT exam is getting a makeover to better measure the critical thinking skills and the college and career readiness of students. The redesigned SAT, which will be rolled out in 2016, is aiming for more real-world applications and analysis from students. Students and parents want to know, what are the significant changes to this college entrance exam? Well, here are 6 major changes, and let's first look at the components. The current SAT is comprised of critical reading, writing, and math sections, as well as the essay. The redesigned SAT is comprised of evidence-based reading, evidence-based writing and language, math, and an optional essay. Sections of the redesigned SAT might seem similar to the current SAT, but there are significant changes. Let's look at the essay. On the current SAT, the essay is required. A student must express his or her own point of view on a specific issue. The essay appears at the start of the SAT. A student will have 25 minutes to write, and the results are applied to the writing score. On the redesigned SAT, the essay is optional. A student must analyze and explain how an author constructed an argument, used evidence, and styled ideas. The essay will appear at the end of the SAT. A student will have 50 minutes to write, and the results are reported separately. The essay is scored 2 through 8 on 3 traits: reading, analysis, and writing. Students will encounter a host of changes on the evidence-based reading and the evidence-based writing and language sections. Let's examine some of those changes. There will be questions that require students to make careful use of evidence. There'll be reading passages from a much broader range of disciplines: science, history, social studies, and literature. There will be a passage from a U.S. founding document. It could be the Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights, or the Constitution, or conversations that they've inspired. For example, text from Abraham Lincoln or Martin Luther King, articles about freedom and justice. There'll be a greater emphasis on the meaning of words in context and on how word choice shapes meaning, tone, and impact. Passages will not include obscure vocabulary words and phrases, but words that students will encounter in classrooms or in the workplace, like synthesis or empirical. There'll be an emphasis on analyzing data represented in informational graphics in reading and writing contexts. Calculate the foreign exchange rate that a vacationing American would pay in India. That's a sample question from the redesigned math section, which has a very different focus than the current math section. Let's take a look. The redesigned math section will have a much stronger command of fewer, more important topics. What students can expect to see and use in college courses, workforce training programs, career opportunities. It'll focus on data analysis and real-world problem solving, algebra such as linear equations and functions, some more advanced math concepts like structure, manipulate, rewrite expressions, or interpret and build functions to solve problems in science, social studies, and career-related contexts. It includes item sets that allow for more than one question about a given scenario, so the questions are more in depth, and use of calculators is limited to select sections. The scoring differs greatly between the redesigned SAT and the current SAT. Let's look at a chart that breaks it down. The score range on the current SAT is 600 to 2400, 200 to 800 for critical reading, 200 to 800 for writing, and 200 to 800 for math. The essay is factored into the writing score. Points are deducted for wrong answers, and there are no sub-scores. On the redesigned SAT, the score range is 400 to 1600. It's the sum of 2 areas, 200 to 800 for evidence-based reading, writing, and language, 200 to 800 for math. The essay is scored separately. There's rights-only scoring, 1 point, and there are sub-scores for every test. The total time for both tests is similar, but the timing is actually structured somewhat differently. Let's take a look. The total time for the current SAT is 3 hours and 45 minutes. It's available by paper only. The redesigned SAT will take 3 hours plus 50 minutes for an optional essay, and it will be administered by print as well as computer. Today you had a first look at the redesigned SAT 2016. The exam promises to be a more accurate predictor of college success. Prepped and Polished can guide you through and prepare you for these significant changes that will first impact current 9th graders. Stay tuned for further updated revisions. If you have any questions or you want more in-depth assistance, either online or in person, simply email info@preppedandpolished.com and we'll be glad to help you. Good luck.